listeners here, because you've dealt with a dysfunctional franchise for a long time. Can someone help me understand what the hell the Cincinnati Bengals are doing? They signed Marvin Lewis to a 2-year contract extension. Now, work with me. Marvin Lewis has been a coach there for, 15 years? Been to 7 or 8 playoffs? You know what his record is? 0-7 or 0-8, however many it's been he's made there.
The Bengals.
The Bengals. You're not moving forward with Andy Dalton. The window for this thing to actually get where it needs to go is closed, right? You're on a downswing now. The Bengals are no longer this young, hip, sexy team that everyone's like, wow, they're going to be really good, okay? Everyone has figured out you have a soulless ginger as a quarterback. Everybody has figured out you're never going to get it together with this staff and these players. Why would you re-sign him for 2 more years? If you don't move forward with Andy Dalton, why is Marvin Lewis going to groom your QB? Now, I'm only bringing it up because, A, I want to, but B, I'm asking Lion fans who have watched their franchise do more delusional and insane things than maybe any other fan base outside of Cleveland. I couldn't believe when that news hit the scroll. It basically is the Bengals telling their fans, hey, want to see something cool? Watch this. Like, I can't even believe a professional franchise could behave in such a tone-deaf manner, that a franchise could tell their fans to go choke on it. Like, it's unbelievable to me. There is no course for loyalty here. Marvin Lewis has lost all 7 playoff games he has participated in. I believe he once lost a playoff game to T.J. Yates. I would venture to guess he's been favored in 4 or 5 of those playoff games. How the hell do you bring that guy back? How?
Well, and I was reading some of the comments, some of the tweets on the announcement when they made the news, and Cincinnati Bengals fans certainly are not happy about it. Kind of reminded me if the Lions would have brought Caldwell back, what the response would have been here. I mean,
Mike, it's unbelievable. And I know look, man, things go on in sports every day that we look sideways at and you go, really? Did he say that? Or are they going to make that trade? Or how could this mistake happen? But then there are certain things we just categorize, and you almost feel like the franchise hates its customers. I wish I could pay to have been in the meeting where it was determined we're going to bring Marvin Lewis back with a 2-year extension. Like, I just would love to have soaked in some of that brain-dead stupidity with a straight face. David, it's incredible. And like I said, we're only going to do one segment of it here. I really just, as a fan of sports, look, I don't hate the Bengals, okay? I don't care about the Bengals. My hatred is for franchises like the Eagles or the Cowboys or your Lions, frankly. But I'm working on that every day. I wish the Lions would win for you guys. I don't want to see anybody in that Allen Park facility have any joy, maybe in the rest of their life, much less professionally. But the point is, I feel pity for Bengal fan today.
Yeah.
Just like if they had brought back Caldwell, I would feel pity for you.
That was the exact comparison that I drew. You can't help but look at it and say this is how it would have been if the Lions brought back Caldwell. And obviously, you could say that Marvin Lewis has had more success certainly than Jim Caldwell did here. Marvin Lewis has won the division 3-4 times or whatever. Caldwell never did that. But yeah, I mean, you're bringing back a coach who everyone thought was going to be gone, and all of a sudden, randomly, you're springing it on your fans that, actually, he's going to be back. He's going to be back for a couple more seasons. I can't.
But that's the thing is,
can't imagine fans are happy.
What commitment are you making? You're not making you have to rebuild.
I know.
They can't
commitment to
forward.
Mediocrity.
Right, Andy. Like what? So what if they go 8-8 next year? Aren't you just going to be having the same conversation? Short of the team going 10-6, winning a playoff game, What would be different? Marvin Lewis, let's say you make the playoffs and lose again. What would be different? How?
It's almost like
they hate their customers.
Well, they do, I think, but it's almost like they were in a meeting. The owner said, "We're going to get rid of you," and he said, "Don't forget about that file I have on you." And he said, "Oh yes, you know what? 2 years." That's what it seems like. I mean, come on now.
But it's the equivalent of the Bengals and what they're doing to their fans. It's the equivalent of a pizzeria that puts eye drops on every pizza. Why would you want to give your listeners diarrhea or your customers? Why would you do this?
Yeah, him and Jeff Fisher were the two that I always could never understand why they kept getting extensions and kept having they were around for a while.
You think Jeff Fisher just sits at home in his office, if you will, in a big leather-bound chair? Just every win the Rams have, he's just taking deep pulls off a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, you sat there and scored nothing. Every week you did nothing. McVay comes to town, throws a couple of Ric Flair woos around, and Jared Goff looks like a Pro Bowler. Todd Gurley may as well be wearing a Georgia helmet.
Yep.
Jeff Fisher must sit at home and just get blotto in his office staring at a bunch of books.
Yeah, but he was a guy that had a job like Marvin Lewis seemingly for no reason. Don't understand
seriously,
some of it.
You've basically set it up that Marvin Lewis has to win a playoff game next year to keep his job. So why would you go back
does
down
he,
that
though? I mean, they keep retaining him when he doesn't, so who knows what their expectations even are.
Well, hell, same thing. I mean, with Hugh Jackson, right?
There's the rumor that they were going to trade for Hugh Jackson.
Well, okay. Now, see. Now, hold on. See, you just got me on something else. In many ways, I feel that the Browns, they undermine their own people, all right? Hugh Jackson goes there, and instead of drafting Carson Wentz, they flip the bird. Instead of drafting Deshaun Watson, they flip the bird. Now, I get that they weren't going to be good, but you can't go 1-31 in 2 years and sell that to the fan base. Like, how do you pick up the phone, right? And you're in the ticket office. I mean, honest to God, and you're calling your people and going, "Hey, we didn't get the check for the tickets this year." Yeah, you went 1-31 and you brought Hugh Jackson back. I mean, like, you'd have a hard time bringing Bill Belichick back for a third year had you gone 1-31. How can people in a multi-billion-dollar industry behave in this manner? It's remarkable to me. Maybe it's because people refuse to turn their back. Like, Marvin Lewis is coming back. The Bengals should have an empty stadium next year. Nobody should go. You're bringing Hugh Jackson back. The Browns should play in an empty, wind-soaked stadium. Like, I don't even know how you look yourself in the mirror spending the money. It's just crazy. All right, that's all. I had to get off my chest. We're going to move along. NFL-wise, this situation, I definitely want your opinion on. The last one was me just becoming emotionally balanced again. Now I have something for you, and it involves John Gruden and what you're willing to do to get him. Because I think what's going on right now is stupid.